Hello, everyone. Welcome to yet another episode of All Things Money. And today we've got our friend Sindhyar, who essentially runs a pottery business in Pakistan.
Yeah.
How are you doing, Sindhyar?
Very well. How are you? Doing
I'm
well?
doing well. So tell us about what you do.
Yeah. So the business is called Hala Kashigar. It's an initiative primarily to promote local artisans, the traditional arts and craft from our village, which is Hala in interior Sindh. So we're trying to do this in a sustainable way that, firstly, most importantly, empowers the artisans, provides them a consistent kind of a forecast for the foreseeable future as much as we can, empower them as much as we can, try to connect them with the consumers directly, train them in whichever way we can. And at the same time, it's a very personal journey for me too, I feel, because I'm from Hala, my family's from there as well. And just in a way, because I was 18 years away abroad, so it's a way for me to connect with my roots, learn more, and try to help the community in any way which I can.
So,
Yeah.
how does the business model work here?
So primarily it's an online business. You want to stay away from as many extra costs as you can. You'd want to connect the consumer directly to the artisans themselves. What we try to do is obviously try to save costs as much as possible. We approach the businesses ourselves, different corporations, different small size businesses. And yeah, so right now, just try to distribute within Pakistan locally as much as we can at the
And
current.
how has the experience been overall?
It's a learning experience for sure. Like I said, I'm learning throughout this journey myself, and I've had a lot of positive feedback from different people, and it's been growing, alhamdulillah, consistently. There was, I mean, you must have been aware as well. There was not much interest, perhaps a few years ago, let's say 10 years ago, of local pottery itself. It died out, especially after terrorism, and there's not much sales. You could see not much accessibility or people going to the region or them coming here. So I think especially when e-commerce came into kind of a trend in Pakistan, this is where it really picked up. That's what my degree in my education, masters and whatnot, was studying sustainability, CSR, corporate social responsibility, and looking into how you can take advantage of e-commerce and the benefits it gets to it. So the the artisans themselves, obviously, they were very used to just dealing in local markets, physical face to face, physical stores. But I honestly saw a gap in it. I saw e-commerce was where you could actually promote the story, because it's very important to tell the history, the significance, the relevance of Hala pottery itself, and why we should preserve the heritage too. So yeah, so I feel it was a good way to reach out to as many customers locally and internationally. You provide a story, you provide the feedback of what's happening in the behind the scenes, how it's benefiting not just the artisans but the community itself. And I think it's a perfect mix. It all blends in seemingly, I feel.
So
Yeah.
how do you scale up here? Because I just feel a lot of artisan handicraft work comes up, it has its moment, in 6 months, 12 months down the road, it
For
just
sure.
fizzles out.
Or any business. Yeah.
Or more specifically for handicrafts or
Right.
artisan.
Right.
So how do you ensure that you actually scale up
Yeah.
such that there is a lasting impact on the communities that you're trying to
Right.
serve? And B, how do you ensure that it actually sustains?
For sure. First of all, no matter how much hardship the pottery business has gone through centuries, they've alhamdulillah survived. They've always had this appealing effect.
So survival is different
Different for
from
sure.
thriving, right? So
Yeah.
we've seen businesses do survive
Yeah.
at a certain level, but what needs to be done to take them to the next level?
I agree. So what I'm saying is the foundation, at least that risk of it dying out, I feel we don't have to worry about that because there's always going to be people into that market. But to scale up, I feel you need to go green. Perhaps the materials that we use need to be more economically, environmentally friendly. The oxides, the elements, for example, which are not food grade, try to convert it into that. And for me, it's especially forecasting a lot. So what happens right now, or initially what was, people were just selling on the spot. Jitna mil gaya, as much as we can do, let's do it. I feel there needs to be seasonal planning, forecasting, look at trends, look at different corporations, different people who you can work with, perhaps who can do a consistent amount of a relationship with you in that sense. So there are a lot of aspects, alhamdulillah, especially with technology around. We're collaborating with other people, different multinationals, and yeah, so I feel you just have to be consistent in whatever you're doing, and inshallah, things will naturally come in that sense. And what I observe is that's what's happening right now. So we've been there around for 6 years. I was before my business officially started a year before COVID as well. So we went through that hardship too. To survive that and to still keep growing, I feel pretty confident that for the foreseeable future, at least, we're doing our best to keep it sustainable, the business itself, and the empowerment of the artisans for sure. Yeah.
All right. So again, I'm coming back to my original point. The market right now, I believe, is fairly local. It's fairly
Yes.
restricted to, I would say, the urban centers here.
Yes. Yes.
KLI most likely. Now that should make it maybe like 80-90% of your sales.
Yes.
What needs to be done to go global, to have more of a global market for this, and maybe just create a global brand for
So,
this?
Alhamdulillah, we have people from New Zealand, Australia, even Israel, sometimes France, England, America, different parts asking us about our products. The unfortunate situation is the logistics, the cost of packaging, the lack of support, perhaps in some cases, which we do need. It's a cottage industry. I'm trying to do the best I can with what I have. So we need a lot of support, to be fair, to reach and perhaps make it more accessible to the international market, and perhaps some guidance as well, which I'm always open to too, because I'm always stuck in what's happening locally. Perhaps someone to work with, collaborate with, someone who can guide us how to reach different areas.
But
And
have you ever considered, let's say, something like becoming a seller on one of the major e-commerce sites globally and maybe just hold inventory there? Because that is really where your forecasting comes into play and your overall shipping costs come down as well. So
yes,
again, I'm just saying, because a lot of these things come up, they're great, fantastic designs,
yeah,
everything, but they're just not able to graduate to the next level.
I think that's my problem right now, to be fair as well. I just don't want to say yes to anything. I want to feel comfortable that it's the most, not just profitable, most practical journey that I'm going to take. Perhaps I'm a little hesitant because I'm so much into the local market right now, trying to make a foundation over here. Many people have suggested Amazon, whatnot, get a sale over here, there. But you're right. I think people like us, especially in my case, you need some guidance, perhaps, and some local support who can take you to the next level. So yeah, I agree. It's required for sure.
Yeah, because that's what I'm saying. A lot of these things are just sad that they're just not able to get that springboard
Yes.
in going to the next level. So you mentioned something about food grade elements. I think that's an excellent point. That
Yeah.
just makes it more eco-friendly
Yes.
for the more lucrative market out there.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what your current prices are, but if you're selling something for, let's say, $10,
Mm.
the same thing can sell for maybe $50
Of
right
course.
there, and there's like massive margins there. So how do you move from the current chemicals or the
Right.
current paint to more eco-friendly? What does the transition look like there?
So Alhamdulillah, we have introduced some limited food grade elements as well from different regions. It's come to a point now where different artists within Sindh are approaching us, and we figure out what we can do, work out with them. The unfortunate situation is there are a lot of limitations when it comes to designs, motifs, not much training around as well. So to get high skilled labor who are educated in that regard too, I think that's the next step, investing into different machines, which cost 12 lakhs, 15 lakh, 20 lakh. So it's by investing into the foundation and the structure of the business itself. And we are now, I would say 15% of our work is food grade. And it's not just being food grade, it's how you make it too. It has to be environmentally friendly as well. Not many pollutants, whatever material you're using, right? So there's a lot of research required. And I feel, especially working with larger corporations, they do encourage eco-friendly products and businesses and operations. So I think that's the next stage for us, especially. Of course, export, international market should be up there to consider. But I feel moving towards eco-friendly products and not just creating awareness in the market, but within our community as well and the artisans, how important it is. Because the tradition and the skills they've been passed down through generations has pretty much stayed the same, and they want to keep hold on to it, right? So
Yeah.
it's very hard to change the mindset.
And that is fair. That's
Yeah.
where the real value is
Yeah.
coming from.
Yeah. But if they can still make a value in an eco-friendly way, which still benefits them and the community and at larger perspective, like the environment. So I think it'd be a positive initiative, and in fact, I feel more people would be interested in our crafts and what we do. And
So how does the profit sharing work with the artisan? Like
that,
how much of the whatever sale,
yeah,
if let's say you're doing X rupees of sales,
yeah.
how much of that actually goes to the artisan?
So we are very flexible in that sense. Some of our artisans make their own crafts, and then we work out deals. Some of, because I'm a creative head myself, I give my input to my innovation as well. Then you're working with different shops who take their commission. Some people who don't want to pay you until a month, 2.5 months. So we're very flexible in that sense, where we can work out different ways of benefiting the business itself initially. Yeah. So there are commissions, we work 50-50 sometimes 20%, 30%, sometimes, it's all flexible at this point, to be fair. As long as we can get consistent sales, raise the prices initially, because right now you can get a pizza or a burger, which is more expensive than something that's handmade, which takes 3 weeks, right? Which is ridiculous. My job right now is I feel, to train, educate the market, show them and how much effort it takes, the history behind it, the significance. I feel that's where, soon as you start to increase, I have to be the bad guy in this regard, right? I have to play the devil's advocate in this sense. Push the barrier as much as you can, so you find a balance between the benefit of the artisan, the business, and the consumer too. So, yeah, it's all flexible at this point right now.
Yeah, I think that's great. So what does the future look like for you? Let's say 5 years down the road, where would you see the business be?
Yeah, so within Pakistan, firstly, be established as much as possible, be recognized throughout Pakistan, especially major cities. I like to be working with the major companies around here, because one of the key things I feel is important in this business is service. Through my experience living abroad, my education, and what I've noticed is making sure as long as your service is perfect, then a lot of things can happen, positive things can happen through that. So yeah, so build my foundation here as much as I can, promote the art. Maybe if I can, hopefully with the right partner, to move towards the export market as well. And yeah, eco-friendly is the way
And
forward.
the export should come much earlier.
You can guide me, perhaps I can
We'll
use
just
your
have a chat.
assistance.
Export should come here much earlier, because again, that is what really going to ensure sustenance of the business.
Yeah. I mean, for sure, it'll give you greater margins, a lot more awareness, a lot more interest around the world.
I mean, one example that I'm giving everyone nowadays is matcha.
Oh yeah,
It's completely useless green tea, but it's
Yeah.
just taking the world by storm. It's just
works.
nothing. It's just good marketing. So why not Hala
So our
Pottery?
stuff is not completely useless. We make it multifunctional.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
even
so-
useful at
yeah.
this point.
So you can hang it on the wall, or you can serve it on the
So
dish. and
why
yeah,
not Hala Pottery taking the world by storm?
I agree with you.
So I think
100%.
that is what the vision should be like.
More power to Hala Kashigar.
Exactly.
Yeah.
More power to them. More power to the local artisan. I
Yeah.
think that is what's missing. You really need a strong marketing and strong branding push
Yes.
for a lot of the local stuff that we do.
I agree. Inshallah, from what I've seen, what I've observed in the past 6-7 years of officially starting this, I've seen a lot of positive impact. A lot of new people joining the industry, a lot of artisans wanting to be artisans, lowering migration. Not many people want to get a government job or a bank. Now people want to stay within our village. They want to learn. They want to contribute. You're seeing employment rise. You're seeing tourism increase. So there are a lot of social, economic. So I'm focusing on Hala. So if I sell and promote Hala the right way, I feel, then inshallah everything will come accordingly.
So talking about social indicators,
Yeah.
how have they improved overall?
So lowering migration, first of all.
Lowering migration.
From Hala to people moving to cities, for example,
Okay.
for a job, for example, moving away from their families.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I've known some of the artisans all my life. They moved to Karachi back in the day. Now they settle back in their village with their families and they're happy over there. And it allows them to do other things as well. So you allow freelance work as well. Jo banda koi aur kaam kar raha, if they want a bit of extra money, they can join us for whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a ripple effect. Obviously, it's not just the artisans benefiting. You get the packaging team, you get the logistics team, you get the tea boy, you get the tourism, you get economy strengthening within. You get the community strengthening between itself. You get a lot of people asking for different things, not just pottery, and then that's how the awareness and the whole culture and the essence of Hala, I think it comes out from there, because I'm not sure if you're aware, Hala in a way is one of the center points for spiritual and artistic expression,
Okay.
right? So keeping that spirit alive, I feel, is very important, and allowing people to come visit as well, meet the artisans themselves. What we're doing is we're training them online as well, because they weren't aware of how powerful Instagram, Facebook
Yeah,
can be,
yeah.
right? So allowing them to connect directly with the consumers or
Mhm.
B2Bs or what have you, innovating constantly, showing or creating new ideas, right? So these are all positive impacts that can help the business and the community and so forth. Yeah.
So a lot of the discussion has been focused around direct to consumer.
Yeah.
Have you considered direct to business as well, doing something at scale?
So we are. We work with some, I don't want to list them because some people want to
That's
keep
fine.
it
That's fine.
secret.
You
But
don't
yeah,
have to.
we're
Yeah.
working with a few multinationals who order 2,000, 3,000 pieces every 2, 3 months, for example. We're empowering small businesses too. You see a lot of women in Karachi who want to have their own shops. So we're they're supporting us by helping us, grow, and we're supporting them in that regard. So I agree. Working towards more larger companies, large scale business would be a more economical and sustainable strategy,
You
which
just
we are
get more
applying.
scale. You get
Yeah,
more quantities out the door,
sure.
and your original thesis of having the right forecast in place
Yeah.
will help there.
And the money is safe because sometimes they're good to deal with. They have the hierarchy system, obviously. They may pay you a month later, 2 months later, which is fine, but at least there's a system in place which allows us mentally to focus on the future and not be worrying about
Not be worried about
the
collections.
nitty-gritty stuff. Yeah.
All right, Sandhu. Well, perfect. Thank you very
Thank
much
you so
for
much
your
for having
time.
me.
This was
Appreciate
very,
it.
very insightful.
Thank you.
I just hope I just see Hala everywhere in the next 5 years.
Inshallah,
Wherever you
inshallah.
go, one should see it.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
being